Well, it's now 4 o'clock. We'll go ahead and open up the Board of Adjustment meeting. And first thing that we do is we need to approve the minutes for July 11, 2019. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes for July 11, 2019 as read.
Thank you, Janet.
I second.
Thank you. And there is a minor correction of the street name that'll be incorporated. So it's really a friendly correction that's not necessary to make a motion about. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Same sign. Okay. All right, let's open up the public hearing for case number V 2019-009. And Karen, you want to present it to us?
Yes,
Please.
this is where the correction is. So it's actually not 824 West Washington. It is at 824 West Tarleton, which is what is wrote in your recommendations. Applicant Joseph Borges is requesting a 20-foot landscape variance from the section 154.13.G1 of the Stephenville zoning ordinance for a 10-foot buffer in the rear of the side of that property located at 824 West Tarleton, being Lot 1, Block 0 of the CAC First Edition. Planning and Zoning Commission met on July 11th and unanimously recommended approval to the City Council to rezone this property. And council met on the 6th of August and the rezone went through. So now they're requesting the landscape variance.
And what is the rezone? What is the new zoning?
The rezone, it went from City Tarleton School to B2, a retail and a commercial. And it says, the last thing that we were talked about was it was gonna be some a storage building, but it's actually gonna be a warehouse. It'll be a prime building. I believe it's 20 by 60. Is that right?
A warehouse for, okay. Deal.
So we have three options.
Yes.
We may grant the request for a variance, we may grant the request for a variance but with modifications, or we may deny the request. And so Mr. Borges is here, and so if you just come to the podium and introduce yourself for the cameras and for us, and then just state your case.
Good afternoon, I'm Joseph Borges. My address is 892 West Vanderbilt, Stephenville, Unit D as in dog. Yeah, I bought this property actually from the city or the county like 4 years ago. I've been on the tax roll. Someone had gave it up over 20 years ago, and they weren't collecting no tax dollars, and so I was like, well, I can do something with it. And so I got it back on the tax roll. I've been paying taxes on it for 2 years now, and so now I finally want to put a warehouse there to store some of my goods for new business venture I'm doing with Mr. Huckabee, and I think it's going to add value to the property all around it. I've got some, I went over there, took some pictures. There's an old beauty salon right on the corner of this street, and they're 10 foot from the back.
Is that along
Property
the
line?
railroad track?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So I didn't get the whole picture, but I just took 2 pictures, one with the tape measure,
Mhm.
Okay.
Awesome.
so I kind of see that.
This is the 10-foot you're speaking of.
Yes, ma'am. And then you look at the-
These all the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
I guess I could have took a picture of everything. But, so you can see this is the back of the property line right there.
Right.
So from that other picture, you see the 10-foot marks right here, that's going to right on the property line. And then, so I'm right here, the empty lot.
Is there currently a fence there, or is that just a stake?
No, there's
Just look
and
at
I
the
don't
fence.
remember if there was a privacy fence there in the back when I acquired that lot or not.
With this right here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them stakes that is for a privacy fence, and I don't know if the neighbors behind that lot
Yeah.
took it down because they were doing some remodeling and they're putting it back up. I'm not sure. We plan on talking to that neighbor and getting the fence put back up, and if we got to split it with them to make sure they have privacy back there. The lot's, I think, 28 foot wide or 26, so it's a narrow lot. And that's probably why they gave it back to the county. There wasn't much you can do. You couldn't put a house there. So what we're looking to do is put a 20-foot wide building, and to get us, we need about 1,200 square foot, and that's the 60-foot. Without the variance, we can only go 50 foot by 20, and so we're just asking for
So
another.
that's why you need 10 feet.
We'd like, yes, ma'am, put a restroom in. We don't plan on just putting a metal building. We're gonna make it nice with the rock little wainscot in the front and make sure it's done right.
Will it be staffed in any way, or just a warehouse?
We'll have people in and out of there, but not, I mean, someone will be,
So
at least not, I mean, that's not the end of game plan. I mean, we might put a little office for us to go and do, but not an 8 to 5 or anything like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there any other questions?
How will you have access into that once you put the building in? Is it directly off the street? Because like you said, that's a really narrow.
Yeah, it's right on
section.
Tarleton, so the front entrance, there's not even a curb there. So we just plan on making the entrance the whole way, and it's just dirt currently with the roll-up door and a walk-in door on the front there. And then in the back, we just have like a 3-foot walk-through door. And so there's not gonna be much other activities going on back there, but
Will you be pouring a driveway in the front?
yes, ma'am.
So you'll back up into the roll-up door eventually?
Or you'll be able to drive in. I mean, either way. Yeah, we're still at 25 feet off the front, I think is what and that's gonna stay the same. We're not trying to,
Cut a curb and gutter the whole front and make it a drive that meets the regulations.
Okay.
So if this was denied, it would decrease the size of your building by 10 feet? If,
by 200 square foot, yes,
I
sir.
mean, it ends up being pretty substantial difference in what you can do with that storage.
Yeah, it's about 20% less.
Is it prohibitive?
I don't wanna say it's prohibitive, it just.
No,
you know,
I'm saying, would you just, what, I'm just covering.
Yeah,
everything.
I mean,
Would you guys, what would happen?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, if you build and I'm just throwing out numbers, but like a 50 by 20 building, it's gonna cost me X per square foot. And as I get a little bit bigger it's gonna help reduce our cost per square foot, you know, and I don't know, we didn't price it at 50, not yet at least. So I'm not sure. We'll go back to the drawing board and see what makes sense and make a decision from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hypothetical.
Correct. No, and I mean, that's a good question. We haven't really talked about what if they say no, what,
Yeah.
I mean, we're optimistic people, so.
Yeah. And then, the Planning and Zoning Commission, it looks like they've already,
So
Been approved.
when it's on the tax roll, it automatically goes to city, Tarleton. So that's why, on both sides, I mean, they're zoned business already. The only reason mine was not zoned that is because I bought it from off the tax roll. And so when someone loses a property and it goes back to the city or the county, it automatically gets zoned to that. So I'm guessing whenever someone owned it, it's probably zoned the same as the two on each side of it.
well, thank you very much.
No, thank you guys.
And then Karen, my understanding is the staff has no objection to this variance request.
No, it's an odd shaped lot. It's 26 feet frontage, 80 depth, so there's not much that can be done with that lot. So, no, we have no.
Looks like anything would be great.
Anybody from the community want to speak to this case? All right, well, we'll close the public hearing. Thank you. Do I hear a motion regarding case number B 2019-009?
I make a motion to approve the 2019-009.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And none opposed, so it passes. All right. I don't think we have any other business, so I move that we adjourn the meeting. Do I hear a second?
I second it.
All right, I think we can.
She had a question.
No, I just didn't understand what all this was about. I own the property on A40 Green, so.
So it'll be backing up to your
yeah, I
property?
guess, Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the law that they
Yeah.
notify those that are in that surrounding.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, this meeting is adjourned.
Okay.